In this video, I'm gonna play my electric guitar into my MPC Live. Check it out. What's up? My name is Matthew Stratton with MatthewCreating.com, helping you create music. And on this channel, I do setup videos, tutorials, and overviews, just like this one. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Welcome back to another episode of Matthew Creating Music. So in the previous couple episodes, I plugged a guitar into the MPC Live and used some of the effects on the MPC Live to, distort the guitar and make it sound somewhat, like a distorted guitar. But I read the comments. There was a few comments saying, you play guitar differently whenever you're playing it distorted live. And then, other comments about why didn't you record the guitar while monitoring your effects? So in this video, I'm going to address both those issues. Okay, so I'm going to play guitar right into the MPC Live. I'm going to put distortion on it straight live. I want to show you what it sounds like. This way, you can get an idea of what it sounds like live and recorded live with the effects on it, and see if latency is really an issue. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Just like the other videos, I have my guitar going into my Studio V3, going into the input, is going into this preamp, and it's sending a line output from here into my MPC. So this way I can get a nice guitar signal. On the MPC Live, the input is coming in right there, and then I got my volume level set here. And this way we can hear the guitar with the MPC. And then if you look on the MPC Live, I have straight away a few things going on. I loaded up an acoustic kit. So I loaded up this acoustic kit, and I actually loaded up the sequence for this acoustic kit. Let me get on my headphones. So if you listen, that's just the generic acoustic kit that's in the MPC and the generic sequence that's in the MPC. Okay, and then over here on the audio tracks, I have my input selected to 1. And then I have a few things going on here. I'll talk about that in a second. All right, so what I want to do is get my guitar here. Try to find my pick. Here it is. Grab me a pick. And then I want to turn up my guitar. I have monitor on at the moment. I just turned it off. So right here is your monitor. So you can monitor your input. I got my input on 1. That's where my input is right there. Now, all right, I think that signal sounds pretty good. So what I want to go into now is actually putting some distortion on that. So what that was the guitar input, and it's monitored right there. So I can listen to this monitor. And it sounds pretty good. It's playable. There's no real issues, with latency. So what I want to do is I'm going to start adding, things on here. So last time I picked this air distortion and I kind of messed with it, and it didn't really sound that great. And I picked this custom distortion. It didn't really sound too great. Now someone said something about using the distortion amp. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. Now there are a few presets in here. That's full drive, dark drive. And if you listen to it, these distortions on their own do not sound that great. So what I did is I added a distortion on top of that. So if you listen. It makes it sound a little bit better. Okay, now here is a different distortion. All right, so I actually messed up my settings. I had the settings in here a little bit different. can hear, this distortion sounds a million times better than that distortion, you know what I mean? If you add this amp distortion to this one, all right, so if you listen, I'm just gonna play a little guitar riff. Now you can clearly hear this way of doing it sounds a million times better, right? Now you can mess with your settings. All right, so you kind of get the point. You can really mess around with the settings on this thing and customize it to get a relatively decent sounding distortion, considering that it's all within the MPC Live. Now, it would be great to have like MPC amp modeling distortions that are like, you know, actually modeled off of, you know, amps. Like you could get a plug-in in your DAW and it's modeled out of actually having a guitar signal, you know, with your amp and your cabinet and your microphones and everything like that. But I think if you're scratching down ideas or whatever, this is definitely worth doing. And the good thing about this as well, if you're going somewhere, you're scratching out ideas, if you record this, let me show you. I want to show you this in a second here. But if you record this, as long as you got a good signal in here on your audio track, when you go ahead and take that audio track and put it into your DAW, you could put whatever distortions that you want to make it sound better. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to push play here on this and just play something to it. This way we can get an idea. If I try to actually record something to a drum beat, is it going to be on time? All right, so say that I like that. What I could actually do is go in here and record it. All right, arm it to record, push record, play start. All All right, it's already coming back through, so let's listen to it. So what I want to do, I'm going to add a track, come back to track 1, push edit. Then I want to copy that track over to track 2, push do it. And then on track 2, everything should be the same. If you look right there, everything's groovy. So what I'm going to do is take that out of there. Now I can add a second guitar. Hey, I want to say if you're finding value in this, go ahead and hit the thumbs up because it really helps out the channel and gets the, the message out about the MPC and how you can do this with the MPC. So I appreciate you. Let me show you this. All right, let me get the inputs appropriate. It didn't copy the input settings. It just copied the plugins over. It didn't actually copy the settings of the plugins. So what I want to do is go in here. I want to save this setting. Sure. Just keep it simple. Save this setting. Sure. Keep it simple. Then I want to come over here to this second audio track. And then I'm going to load that setting up. Load that. Go into edit over here. And then load that. Just like that. So now we have the exact same settings. So now they're at the exact same settings. So I want to play something over top of it so you can get the idea that you can sketch out ideas on guitars on the MPC. So let's go ahead and do this. I should actually prepare for these things instead of just doing it on the fly, but whatever. All right, and say you wanted to turn that lead up a little bit. Let's say I was absolutely happy with that and that was the most amazing riff ever. Let's go ahead and record it. So I'm gonna go to record, play start. All right, whatever. You get the point, y'all. You get the point. You can scratch out some ideas on the MPC. Let me get this camera back. All right, so I hope this helps. And you can get kind of a decent tone on here. Now, obviously, this isn't a professional Marshall amp you're working with. All right, it's the MPC Distortion effect. So I hope that clarifies that you can play guitar into the MPC and gives you a little bit of idea of what you could do with it. You could actually play it live. The latency isn't terrible. I'm able to play perfectly fine. Don't even notice the latency, okay? Now, obviously, there's going to be some kind of milliseconds of latency. It doesn't matter what you're using. Even your DAW has latency. So, of course, this is going to have some kind of latency, but it's not even noticeable. Anyway, I hope this helps out. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon. And if you want to know about the MPC, head over to mpcjumpstart.com. Grab your free beginner's guide, and let's go ahead and start producing music with the MPC. My name is Matthew. Continue creating music, and we'll talk soon.